Welcome into another episode of the Fat Guy Podcast. I am the Fat Guy. Most people know me as Brett Mason, and I really appreciate you listening to the show today. I'm a guy who was overweight my entire life. I started being overweight when I was very young, at like 6 years old. My weight just increased throughout my entire life till I reached a very sad 407 pounds. In 2016, my doctor told me I was pre-diabetic. I was going to start taking metformin. I needed probably eventually wind up on insulin. And that's when I really started getting serious about my weight and my health. I refused to go on medication for diabetes. Since then, early 2016, I've lost 104 pounds, completely reversed pre-diabetes, and I did all that without any drugs, potions, or crazy fad diets or anything. My fasting blood glucose did range in around the 120s every morning. Now it ranges in the mid-80s, maybe low 90s. I've spent hundreds of hours researching what makes us get fat and have an obesity problem. And what I discovered, it's not our fault. It's not your fault if you're overweight right now. We didn't get fat because we were lazy. We didn't get fat because we have no willpower. We didn't get fat because we just like to sit around and eat food all day. There's actually a metabolic physiological reason behind it. I got to tell you, I'm not a doctor. I have no formal medical training. Anything you hear in this podcast is my opinion and only my opinion. It's not intended to diagnose, prevent, treat, or cure any disease. For your health and weight loss goals, you should always consult with a health professional. So, you've probably done this and you've probably seen a lot of people do this. By the way, check us out on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that. Just look for Fat Guy Podcast. And the website is thefatguypodcast.com. And there's going to be, that basically just points to my Brett Mason Media domain right now. But it'll get you there to get you to the podcast. I do have a Fat Guy Podcast website coming soon, though, hopefully within the next month or so. And a lot of exciting things to announce as my passion moves from what I've always done into helping people be healthy. That is my life passion, and Lord willing, that will be the rest of my life. So, on to the subject of today's podcast, which is available that you can subscribe to on Apple Podcast or the Google Play Store or Stitcher, and it'll just show up on your phone every week. I need to throw that in. Everybody loses weight. You've seen it. I don't think there's one single person alive that's overweight that hasn't lost weight. It's not rocket science. Now, there's better and worse ways of doing it, and I've tried all of them, and I know what the best two ways are, and of those two, I know what the best way is. I lost about half my weight on a whole food plant-based diet, and I lost the other half on a ketogenic diet. They both work for similar reasons. They both are something that fixes the problem inside you, and they are both something that's sustainable long-term. So either one of them will work, but I highly recommend ketogenic. That's what I do, and that's what I help people do. It's just, the differences are vast. The biggest one, if you want to know short-term right now, before I get into the subject of long-term weight loss, the biggest difference is hunger. Even on a whole food plant-based diet, I was hungry a lot. Now, the upside was I could eat a lot. I could eat all the time, and it didn't matter. What I love about ketogenic is I'm rarely, if ever, hungry, and I can eat anywhere. It doesn't matter where I'm at. I can usually find something to eat, and I can go an entire day and not get hungry. And if for some reason I'm traveling, or a doctor's appointment with my mom goes 2 hours long, which happens all the time, I'm not in there starving. I'm fine. I'm like, whatever. So that's the biggest difference. There's a lot of differences, but that's the biggest one. So what's the deal? Why is it that you lost that 20 pounds before, but it all came back and you can't keep it off? Or why is it that you lost 50 pounds one time? And we all have those stories. I used to have my story. It was the 30-pound story. And then a little bit later on in life, I think I lost around 45 pounds or something. And that was my big story, the time I lost 45 pounds. And then you always talk about how going back and doing it again, which is really stupid if you think about it. Going back and doing the same thing that didn't work before. And look, work doesn't mean that you lost weight for 6 months. It always gets me when people go, I did the best weight loss plan 2 years ago and I lost 30 pounds and I need to try that again. I'm like, well, if you still need to do it, if you gained all the weight back, you don't need to go back to that plan because that plan did not work. It didn't work at all. You temporarily saw a change in your weight, but you did not change your weight. You didn't change your life. You didn't change what was happening metabolically inside you. You didn't change anything. You just temporarily starved yourself and lost some weight, and then your body came back and said, I'm going to keep you alive. I don't like starving. And it took over and brought all the weight back. So I want that to be the first thing you do right now. If you've ever used a diet and lost 20 pounds, 30 pounds, 50 pounds, 60 pounds, and you gained it all back and then some, I want you to right now to commit to never, ever, ever saying that you did a diet that worked and you should try it again, because you did not try a diet that worked, and you absolutely should not ever try it again. Okay? If it worked, it would have been long-term sustainable. And people want to go, well, it was just my willpower. I just couldn't overcome the hunger. If you're on a proper diet, you don't need willpower. If you're on a proper diet, you don't need to control the hunger. People who are naturally slim don't walk around hungry all the time. They're normal. To be hungry all the time is abnormal. You are living in an abnormal metabolic state. The metabolism of your body is raging out of control. So it was not a good diet. Any diet that requires willpower and any diet that willpower can sink that's not lifelong sustainable. All that is a short period of starvation where you starved yourself and your body got pushed to the max to where it finally revolted with everything that it had and it made you eat. It overwhelmed you with desires, cravings, weakness, tremors, dizziness, everything it could throw at you to get you to eat, it did. And you gave in and thought you were weak. You were not weak. Your body was telling you that you were killing yourself and it was trying to save you. On a diet that works well for you, your body will not have to intervene to try and save you. It won't. It won't even try. Your body will be like, well, this is where everything is copacetic. So that's number one. Losing weight, and by losing weight, I mean losing weight forever, okay, requires a diet where you aren't starving yourself to lose weight. Starving yourself to lose weight, and you're like, well, I didn't starve myself. I mean, I just cut my calories down to a really low amount. You starved yourself. You didn't fix the metabolic process on the inside. All you did was reduce calories. And so the metabolic process, as I've discussed in other podcasts, and you should go back and listen to all of them. Everyone that starts from when I switched to a ketogenic diet, start there and listen to everyone, because I explain all this in great detail. And I don't want to explain it every episode, even though I don't mind getting into it a little bit. But when you develop this whole deranged metabolism to where all this stuff is happening, you have insulin resistance, you have de novo lipogenesis happening in the liver. Your body is shunning energy into fat stores like crazy because your cells aren't accepting glucose as energy anymore. And by doing that, you're robbing yourself of energy. You know, I've talked about this before. You could theoretically be eating 2,500, 3,000 calories a day and only getting 1,000 of them for fuel, because your body is shunting the rest of them away as fat because your metabolism isn't working right. So not only are you already starving yourself and don't know it, and this is what people don't understand. You can be fat and be starving at the same time. What? How can a fat person be starving? Well, here's the reasons. One, your body is robbing you of energy that you're eating because your body isn't processing that energy so you can use it. Okay? Your body is robbing a bunch of that energy and storing it in fat cells, and you never ever get to burn it. Now, normally if you could burn it, you wouldn't be getting robbed of it, but because your metabolism is drained, you're not actually getting to burn it. Your insulin levels are always high. You never go into fat burning mode. You stay in fat storage mode. So essentially that energy is being robbed. You are starving. You are eating 3,000 or 4,000 calories a day and you're still starving. Now, combine that with I'm going to lose weight and you go on a calorie-restricted diet. So you were already starving at whatever, 4,000 calories a day. And now you've cut it down to 1,500 calories a day or 1,600 calories a day. Your body's still robbing you of whatever percentage it was robbing you at, 20, 30, 40, 50%. So before you were robbing yourself at 3,000 calories, now you're only taking it in 15, 16, 17, 1,800, and your body is robbing 20, 30, 40% away. You're really starving. And you are destined to gain the weight back. There is no way Nothing other, no, it's just period. End of story, you're going to gain the weight back. 100% of the time you're going to gain the weight back. So that's number one. It's diet. You've got to get the diet right. You have to eat a diet that does two things. One, keeps you, and it's not your mind, it's your body. Keep your body satisfied. Keep your body satisfied with a steady stream of energy that it feels comfortable with burning so it never feels like it's starving. And number two, it has to be something sustainable. It has to be something you can do all the time. It has to be something you can do for the rest of your life. And number two is very controversial. You're going to find a lot of medical professionals, doctors, trainers, nutritionists, health coaches all across the country that will tell me that I'm wrong and disagree with me. But I'm sorry, they're wrong. In my opinion, they're wrong. Whether you choose to accept my opinion or not is up to you, but I'm just telling you they're wrong. Exercise is the antithesis of weight loss. And I don't mean it's the antithesis of losing weight for 3 months or 6 months. I mean exercise is the antithesis of weight loss for the rest of your life, okay? So I'm going to give you an example of what I mean. I don't mean you shouldn't ever exercise, so please don't misconstrue what I'm saying. Let me please lay it out and clarify it for you very clearly. I have a friend of mine. He started losing weight after I did. Like I first started January the 9th, 2016. I believe he started the fall of 2016. So, 7, 8, 9 months later than me. He has been losing, I don't know what it is, like 15, 20 pounds a month or something. It's crazy. And it wasn't just for a month or two. It's still going. But this guy goes and kills himself at the gym every day. I actually have a couple people in my life like this. I mean, he is doing insane workouts every day. It's not as extreme as what you'd see on The Biggest Loser on TV because, he hasn't taken off from his life to go live in a house and work out all day. But as much as he can work out and maintain his life, he does. And it's extreme workouts. And it's extremely high amount of calories burned. I have another friend that does the same way. I see her post on Instagram or stuff all the time how she burned 1,000 calories today. Do you know how much working out you have to do to burn 1,000 calories? It's a lot. It's really a lot to burn 1,000 calories. So here's the problem. If you burn 1,000 calories a day or 1,500 calories a day, it's an insane amount of calories that you're burning every day. And then you eat a reasonable amount of food. If you're eating 1,500, 2,000 calories, you're going to lose weight. Okay? I mean, that's just how it is. You're not going to lose the right kind of weight, and you're not going to lose it in the right kind of way, but you're going to lose weight. I mean, there's just no way around it. But are you going to still be okay a year from now? Are you still going to go to the gym every day and burn 1,000 calories a day a year from now? What about 2 years from now? Let's say you make it 2 years. 2 years from now, are you still going to be going to the gym and killing yourself to burn 1,000 calories in an hour or 1,500 calories in 90 minutes? Is that, let's be serious. Let's just, come on now, be honest about it. Is that the life that you envision leading for the rest of your life? Now, I'm not even going to get into what will happen if you keep doing that forever because your metabolism will decrease if you keep such a huge calorie deficit and a high rate of calorie burn. Now, I'm not saying for everybody it will, but most people do it improperly. So you're eating too few calories and you're burning way too many calories. And your body's freaking out. Sure, you're losing weight, but all the while you're losing weight, your body's trying to figure out how to live. And it's diverting energy from here to somewhere else. It's saying, well, I don't need to send quite as much energy. I can save 100 calories by not sending quite as much energy to the kidneys today. I can save 100 calories here by not sending quite as much energy to the brain today. And your body is starting to slow down and partition that energy to make your body still run effectively. And this is called lowered metabolism. So when you stress your body calorically to where it starts apportioning what calories it is getting to try to make this whole machine work, your metabolism is lowering. So, you used to burn 2,500 calories a day. You know what? 6 months later, you only burning 2,200 calories a day. And 6 months later, you're only burning 2,000 calories a day. And 6 months later, you're only burning 1,800 calories a day. Well, what does that mean? That means it's going to be harder and harder for you to lose weight because you're going to have to, at some point, you're going to have to start eating fewer and fewer calories. It's just not good. That is just not a good plan for long-term weight loss. And I've yet to see, maybe I've seen one or two. I'm not going to say I've never seen anybody, but you rarely, if ever, see anybody that loses weight that way still look the same 5 years later. They get it all back. They have ruined their metabolism. In addition, even if you don't believe in the lowered metabolism, let's just say you don't believe it, even though it's true, let's just say you're like, I don't believe that. I don't believe the body lowers its metabolism because I stressed it like that. Fine, don't believe it. Let's just take into effect, do you really believe you're going to keep up that level of exercise for the next 5 years? Are you really going to go to the gym and burn 1,000 calories every day? Because you don't get to come off of it. See, people think I'm going to do this. I can do this for a year, man. I'm going to burn 1,000 calories a day in the gym every day, and I'm going to get this weight off, and then I'm going to live a normal life. No, you're not. Because when you go back to the normal life, all the weight is going to come back. You didn't fix what was wrong inside you. You didn't address the metabolic syndrome that you have. You didn't address the insulin resistance. You didn't address the actual problem that causes your body to store weight. The thing that makes your body store fat, that problem is still there. It didn't ever go anywhere. You just hacked it and bypassed it. In I might add, in a very difficult way. You went about it the really hard way. So, do you want to lose 100 pounds and know that a year from now you'll still be 100 pounds? Or 2 years from now you'll still be 100? 3, 4, 5, 10 years from now? What about when you're 70? Are you going to be going to the gym and burning 1,000 calories a day when you're 70? I don't think so. So what's the answer? The answer is sure. Let's exercise enough to be healthy. Let's go for a 30-minute to an hour walk, 4 or 5 times a week or whatever. Let's do that. You want to lift some weights? Sure, let's lift some weights. Let's do that. Let's pick a couple of days a week and let's go lift some weights or whatever. But you don't do it to lose weight. You do it to improve your cardiovascular system and you do it to tone your muscles. Now, the final thing that I'll say about that is I really don't think if you have more than 50 pounds to lose, that you should be doing much of any of that. Number one, it's difficult. When you're large, look, I was out there walking and jogging at 400 or trying to jog. And I ripped my knees to shreds on 2 different occasions. But I wanted to so bad. My body wasn't designed for that. If you're 50, 60, 80, 100 pounds overweight, your body ain't designed for all that right now. There's only so much your ligaments and tendons and bones and joints can handle. They have limitations. They're not designed for a 400 pound to carry that around. They're not designed to carry around 300 pounds. They're not designed to carry around 250 pounds, The human body, your bones and ligaments and basic structure is designed to carry, between 100 and 200 pounds. That's about it. That's the limitations it has. And if you are forcing it to do something beyond that, you are seriously risking yourself. Now, I injured myself twice. The last time really made me mad because I'd lost 60 pounds. I was actually being able to jog every day. Now, I know I looked ridiculous jogging, but God, I hadn't done that since high school. And I was so happy. I was like, God, I'm on track now. I've got this. This is amazing. And then I injured myself jogging. And I didn't even know it was an injury because it was an internal injury. I just thought something was wrong with me. I didn't even know I'd injured myself. Then I couldn't move. Then I was laid up. Next thing you know, I'm spending months in a recliner, taking pain pills, depression. I don't know what's going on. All the bad eating habits come back. And all this happens. I gained all that 60 pounds back. That's what exercising like that does for you when you have a lot of weight to lose. However you like living right now is how you should live and lose weight. If you like going for a walk a few times a week or something, and that's about the extent of the exercise you like doing, then don't do any more exercise than that. Because if you do any more than that, you're going to always have to do that. If you don't like going to the gym every day and burning 1,000 calories in an hour, then don't start doing that because that's what you're going to have to do for the rest of your life. Who wants to be miserable to be healthy? So again, I'm not against exercise. I'm against anything other than just moderate walking for people that are really obese, okay? That should be it. That should be all you do. The only thing that you might want to include is some weights. Don't get crazy with it, but you might want to do some weights. If you do them properly and you don't get too crazy with it, that can be relatively safe. And moderate walking can be relatively safe. Don't do any more than that, and don't do a ton of it. Let's fix your body. If you'll fix what's going on inside the body, the weight will fall off. You don't have to do all that crazy stuff. You don't have to do something you're not going to be comfortable doing the rest of your life. Look, people keep asking me, well, you keep talking like you're an authority on weight for the rest of your life. I am, because I know that it'll never be a problem for me again. Now, I'm not saying not a problem as in not a problem. I'm saying not a problem that I can't handle easily. Because the way I live my life now is a very comfortable way of living. I'm not outside a comfort zone. I'm not doing things that I'm not comfortable doing every day. I'm just living a normal life. And then I've learned to diet and how to eat in a way so I can be at a healthy weight. You know people like this. Come on, think about it. And I'm going to close this podcast out with this. You know people who are really slim and they don't ever hit a lick at a snake. They don't do nothing. They sit around and watch TV all day or be lazy all day, and that's their entire life, and they're as thin as a rail. Now, if exercising a lot was required to be thin like that, those people would be enormous. Why aren't they enormous? Because their metabolism isn't deranged. They don't have metabolic syndrome. They don't have insulin resistance. They don't have the problem that you and I have. So how can you get down to a thin size and sit around on the couch all day? Eat in a way that corrects the metabolic problem. Eat in a way that addresses the insulin resistance. And then the rest will take care of itself. Follow me on all the socials, whichever one you prefer, at Fat Guy Podcast. You can visit us online at thefatguypodcast.com. And, of course, you can always subscribe. That way the podcast just shows up right on your phone. You can do that on Apple Podcasts if you're a big Apple person like I am. You can do it on the Google Play Store if you're an Android person. And you can use Stitcher if you prefer that app as well. If you know anyone that's overweight, if you know anyone that you're like, God, my friend Peggy Sue is a wonderful person, but she can't control her weight, share this on your page. You don't have to share it with them. You don't have to send it to Peggy Sue and go, you're fat, you need to listen to this. No, just share it on your Facebook page, and Peggy Sue will probably see it. And maybe she'll listen to it. And maybe she'll go, God, I'm not a fat, lazy slob. I don't have, bad willpower. I'm not a horrible person. My body is deranged on the inside, and I can fix it. All right, guys. Thanks so much. Till next week. Appreciate you.